Well, chassis back from the powder coaters, wheels are all done. Yes, the powder coat's going to come off the wheel rims as it rolls, but then it would if I painted it. And I didn't have to paint it. Excellent. Do I paint the fuel tank or do I leave it like that? I'm not painting the engine. It's taken 100 years of use, abuse and neglect to look like that, so I'm leaving it. I'm going to have to paint the oil tank. I've welded some reinforcings in where all the pipe fittings go on. I had to cut and shut that a bit to get the angle, and that wants a bit of a tweak. There's no piston or conrod in here at the moment. It's just loosely assembled to keep the muck out, and I'll show you why that is in a minute. I did make a new silencer. That bottom fell out of that. I know, yes, you can buy these, but they're not that shape. I'm being really picky, but so I made that one because this bit and the bit that goes up in here is huge great lump of material, is absolutely fine. So I'll knock that one up. The reason this flywheel's not on, the other one is a damaged flywheel, that's on, that's fine, is I need to get in there and put the oil and fuel pump in. It's just easier without the flywheel. So we'll go over to the bench and put the fuel pump together, fuel oil pump together, and we'll come over here and we'll get that bit on and we'll put that flywheel on. And then I'll show you why I haven't got the piston in there at the moment. Right, fuel pump. I found, get the bits here, I'll bring over the camera so you can see. I don't know whether the camera pick it up, but these original plungers, focus, you stupid thing, are really badly worn. Never seen them that badly worn before, but I was going to make some. I didn't have any material, the right diameter, it's 15 mil, or I think 5/8, something like that. I wasn't going to buy a long length, and they are readily available, so I bought some new ones. Now these pumps are pretty straightforward to put together. If you buy the kit, you get 4 new balls, new springs. You don't get the plungers, but you get the packing gland with it, and it's pretty straightforward. The ball goes in each one of these. You may not need the balls, of course, depending on how good your one is. This one is in a bit of a mess. So I'm putting everything in this one because the seat has really suffered. Will you get back in here? And then one each down here. And then you got new springs. They go in there like that. And obviously your new plungers. But you need to put new packing in there, and also the sort of packing retainers that go inside here. One of them was peened over. It's obviously been leaking, and the string you get with it, I don't know what this stuff is. I think the original stuff was asbestos based. It probably was. But on this kit I bought, I've got 2 lengths rather than 1 long length. Have absolutely no idea how much to put in here, so just going to wind it up, and it really is as uncomplicated as just wind it on here, fill it up and cut it off, because that's too much enough. Maybe I can do a bit better job. It is a bit of a fiddle because the original stuff that came out was a bit more sort of square. Obviously it's taken on a squarish shape. I don't know how long this stuff lasts because it's a synthetic material. It's not obviously not made of asbestos anymore, that's for sure. Right, we'll call that good. I'm just going to stick it together. That goes on there. It's a bit easier done on a vise to hold the pump. That goes down there, and then your nut goes on the top. Obviously if you do it up too tight, the plunger won't come back up, so you need to back it off so it's just tight enough, and that will settle in and you'll have to crank that up a bit. That really is as complicated as that bit gets. I'll do the other one. They do say when you buy the kit there's more than enough. Because I do suspect this stuff doesn't last and you might have to pull it apart and do it more than once. I mean, I could be wrong. I don't know what this stuff is. So it just comes as a kit, said suitable for the job. The oil one will probably last a bit longer because it's self-lubricating, but obviously the one that pumps the petrol, any oil you put on it to lubricate it will dry out. Man, the right pegs here in this. There's probably a specific way of doing this, but I've done it this way before and it works, so we'll go with it. That one goes in there like that. Yeah, I'm just going to leave those like that, and then once we get it going, we'll nip them up, and hopefully they won't leak. Right, the minute these up, we'll get over to the engine and we'll get it bolted on. Right, stick the fuel pump on, which I'll put down somewhere. What have you done with it, you idiot? One ready to go fuel oil pump. Two bolts, that's all that holds it on. And don't forget to put a bit of oil on your cam that pumps it up and down, because this is going to sit a bit longer, because I'll show you in a minute. It goes in there like that, and then this bit sits under there like that. Where's my bolts? Where's it gone? Can't see for looking. Well, need to be an octopus to do this bit. Might have to turn the crank over so the camera's the other way. There it goes. That one in there. I don't even remember, there was a broken oil feed pipe on this when we got it. It obviously manhandled and snapped. I did manage to, I had a bit of copper pipe the right size, so I had both ends, one I had to cut off, bored them out, made the copper pipe a press fit and then soldered it in. Right, I've oiled, put some more down the plungers as well. We'll sort that out when it, so the gland's out when we get it going. Now, two different size unions on these. Oil pickup is the bigger ones. Okay, let's give that a bit of wiggle room. There we go. Now, I've washed all the pipes out to make sure there's no debris or gunge in there, because obviously this thing was in a pretty grim state. Got it. And of course there's no torque wrench settings for any of this, it's just, that's tight enough. Nip that up. Obviously we'll test all this before we get it going, so we might make sure we've got a good oil feed. And that's the pipe I made. It's very close to the original shape. It's not absolutely perfect, but it's pretty damn good. Which way around? It goes that way around. Yeah. So this is just much easier to do without the flywheel on. That one, obviously, we've got fuel pickup pipe to go on, which is this one. It's a bit of a clean. That one goes on there. Let me give that a bit of a clean. I'm not polishing the copper now on this or do anything like that. Just wiped off a few bits of debris on the end. If there's any snot on that in there, it won't seal. So do I paint this fuel tank or do I leave it as it is and let it go rusty? It's going to go rusty on the inside if it's not full of fuel all the time anyway, so. Not sure really. I hate painting, as you well know, so and spraying's fine if you've got somewhere to spray because it just goes everywhere. And I don't have a separate paint booth. Cool, that's that bit on. Now we need to stick flywheel on. Which is just a matter of me straining loads. Right, here we go. Right. Now I did oil this up the other day. I'm going to get a punch and drift that in. I have cleaned all the burrs off everything here so that everything slides in. Now you don't have to use a club hammer, just want to happen to have the hand. That's it, it's on there. I'll say no piston in there or anything in at the moment, but I'll show you the piston and why it's not in the hole. Now, since we've been doing this project, which is what, 8 months, we started in January, it's now August. This piston, once I got it out, has been soaking in diesel because it's a 5-ring piston and I can only get rings for a 4-ring piston. So I don't want to break these, and when we looked at it, when the rings were stuck in, the ring gap's really good, and the fact that somebody had bent nails in the conrod instead of split pins, somebody I think has rerun this. But if you look, if I bring it up so you can see, I don't want to drop this because I'll never get another one. They're all controlled. The 5th one at the bottom has now come free, and so is the top one. It's just the 3 middle ones. And all I've been doing with this is soaking it in diesel, as you saw, taking it out and warming it up from the inside. I want to warm the piston up and try and get the piston to expand. Not the rings, I don't want to heat the rings up and soften the rings, so I'm hoping to reuse them. I may not be able to, but for 4 rings for this is a standard 5.5 inch bore with 100 quid, and I need 5. So I'd rather have a set made, but I'm not convinced these have done anything, because it wouldn't have run very well with that old food bar. I'll clear that mess up. Oh. Yuck. So that's why the piston's not in there on the conrod. I need to send the mag coil away and have that rewound. But even if that comes back in 2 or 3 weeks, that's not going to be done in 2 or 3 weeks. So we're kind of stuck. So I'm probably going to call this video it, and I'm going to have to paint that cooling tank because I can't leave the trade name on it and stuff for now, and come back to this in a couple of months' time. We are disappearing on a big road trip shortly, and we'll be back on the RL. So I'm going to say this is it for now, and we'll be back with another video in due course. Thanks for watching.